Hi everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where last time we arrived here in the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa in search of education in the arts of magic in order to become a better hunter to help support our family, as well as to find work in order to send money back their way. Last time we ended off by meeting Baderon, the head of the Adventurers Guild here, and if we talk to him, I suppose he's going to have some work for us to get us started. Baderon, proprietor of the Drowning Wench, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Right then, let's start you off nice and easy with 3 tasks that will help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down a floor, then point your nose to the west, you'll get an eyeful of the great glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's an aetheryte, a device that can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, providing there's an aetheryte where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with the yellow jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. Before you do that, though, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your venturing bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the aetheryte. Don't go throwing your gil around just yet, though, or you'll get fleeced quicker and you can say, "Why is my coin purse so light?" Have a word with Swozblade instead. He's the head of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him this old Octon and he'll treat you well. For the last of me helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow spellslingers at the Arcanist Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for your tome if you decide to join their crew. Murray at the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lass? Seeing to them 3 tasks will take you on a little jaunt around the city and help you work out where everything is. Now I've best be getting on. Run along, eh? Bugger it, there I go, sending you off without telling you something crucial. That bloody calamity's made a right mess of me memory, I swear. Well, that or the ale. Any road, while you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sods what look like they might need your help, consider giving their tale a woe a listen, eh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interests and opportunities could be lurking out there, just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Nania over yonder's been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend an ear and see what she has to say? You like to find yourself running odd errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a woman folk can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. If you've the time, I'd also seek the advice of the smith here in the wench. The lads that bear that title have some fine advice for them that what are just starting out in the profession, and that, my girl, is how you go about becoming a legend among adventurers. Alright, let's get going. A little tour around the city. To leave the Drowning Wench, you must accept the quest of making a name by speaking with Nania. You know, I've always been curious if we're actually required to accept Nania's quest, because there isn't a mandatory side quest in any of the other starting cities. The main menu grants quick and easy access to most of the game's main features. For example, selecting character under character opens a window containing your character's various attributes and currently equipped gear. Selecting Journal under Duty displays a list of current and completed quests and leave quests. If you wish to customize the game's various settings, including key binding, HUD layout, and system configuration, they can all be accessed via system. Select active help to redisplay these tutorial messages. Game progress is saved automatically, so there are no in-game save or load functions. However, to prevent data from being lost or corrupted, it is strongly recommended that you end each playing session by selecting log out or exit game from the system menu. The game is very good about making sure your data saves automatically, but it never hurts to take that a little extra precaution. Selecting map from under travel in the main menu or pressing square on the controller will bring up the area map. If a quest objective is located in that area, it will be indicated with a special icon. The location of quest objectives can also be confirmed by selecting the objective in the duty list. Alright. Let's get started. I am very curious if we can leave here without actually starting Nania's quest. Best way to find out would be... Wow, okay. They really do force you to take Ninia's quest, which is weird because none of the other starting cities have required side quests like this. Interesting. Speaking of the other starting cities, there are 3 places you can start in total in this game, and they each have their own unique quest line to get you started. They all cover the same general gameplay topics, but they have different quest lines with different stories which cover the individual issues that each city has. What will I be doing about those other city-states? Well, we're not going to be covering them yet. We're not going to be covering their opening chapters yet. Eventually, all of the different storylines will converge, not too far into the game. About a quarter of the way through A Realm Reborn, I will say, is when the different storylines converge. Eventually, I will want to go back and cover those other starting quest lines up to the point where everything converges. We're not going to do that quite yet, and when I do, that will likely be bonus episodes on the side, in addition to the main progression through the game. So don't worry about like, oh, eventually we're going to go back and spend a whole bunch of time redoing the opening chapters. No, eventually I'll do the other city-states opening chapters as bonus content, just to see what their individual storylines are like. Anyways, Ninia, since we are being forced to accept your quest, what do you got for us? Ninia, a veteran adventurer, has some information that might be of use to you. Well, would you look at this, a shiny new adventure. Listen close, lass, I have some information that might just help put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall below not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered about on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been the black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa Lominsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board, if you know what I mean. How'd the plants end up in the mizzenmast? Who knows, might have been a deal gone bad? The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Skainrail and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to Old Skiff at the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. Alright then, so I guess we can take care of this while we are on our way since we're being required to accept it anyways. Normally I will keep side quests out of the main scenario episodes like this one, but since this one is required, On some quests you'll encounter objects with which you can interact by simply approaching, then selecting. And sanctuaries. A crescent moon icon will appear to the right of your experience bar whenever you enter a sanctuary. While in this special area, you will accrue a rested bonus. The bonus will continue to grow even if you are offline. All experience earned through battle, crafting, and gathering while under the benefit of the rested bonus will be increased by 50%. Your current rested bonus is displayed on top of your experience bar. The dark orange bar shows how much more experience can be earned before the bonus fades. If the bar is blue, it indicates your bonus will carry over to the next level. Inns and cities, as well as various outposts and settlements, are classified as sanctuaries. To maximize your experience earning potential, make it a habit to always log out in one of these areas. Yes, rested bonuses, very worthwhile. Make sure you are in a safe area. Generally, anywhere that has an aetheryte or an inn is considered to be a sanctuary, allowing you to log out safely, no risk of being attacked while you're trying to log out. You get a rested bonus, which will be used as you just play through the game. Very good. Very useful. Make extensive use of that because it will speed up your getting higher level in this game so much. If you're working at all on grinding out like levels on any of your classes or jobs, make sure you have a rested bonus if possible. Alright, we picked up all the herbs. Old Skiff, I believe I was to deliver them to you. Yes, I am Old Skiff. You have some herbs you wish me to examine? Yes, I do. Some quests will require you to deliver items. If an NPC requires an item request window will appear. Select the items from your inventory or the armory chest and press hand over to complete the transaction. Alright, let's go ahead and select the peculiar herbs and hand them over. Yes, as you suspected, these are the highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredients in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of death. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Ulfic lavender, a common enough export from Limsa Lominsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, miss. But not to worry, you've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. Alright, well, no harm, no foul. At the very least, he got his spilled lavender back. As rewards from that quest, we actually got a few potions. Some items can be used, granting various effects such as instant HP restoration, attribute boosts, and more. Using an item is as simple as selecting Use from the item's subcommands. All items with recast timers cannot be used again until the timer has expired. Items you often use can be set to your hotbar for easy access. Alright, good to know. Now then, our first destination on the tour of Limsa that we were given. Interacting with the Aetheryte down here. Ah, another novice adventure. Hi, Baderon has sent more than a few of your kind this way of late. I am Sundima, one of the Yellowjackets tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as a means of travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish to seek out and attune herself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. So yes, whenever we wish to teleport somewhere, we will need to teleport to an Aetherite we have been to before. Furthermore, whenever we die, or use the return spell, we'll come back to our home Aetherite, which is currently set to the one here in Limsa. The spell return can be used to instantly travel back to the Aetherite set as your home point. Casting the spell does not require any MP and can be accessed by selecting Return under Travel from the main menu. The sole limitation of the spell is that it can only be cast once every 15 minutes Earth time. Only one home point may be set at any time. To make an Aetherite your new home point, target and select the crystal to bring up the Aetherite menu. Alright, good to know. Now that we've set up our home point at this Aetherite, let's go ahead and walk past this corpse just laying in the middle of the road. And head on into the markets. Hello, Swozeblates. A fine evening to you, madam. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate on the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Baderon? Whatever could it... Ah, my octant! By the Navigator, I must have left it behind in the wench, along with a week's pay and several bells worth of intoxicated memories. Yeah, well, good news. Baderon sent me to return it in exchange for knowledge about the markets. I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant. If it is simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that a Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potions and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light or your time is short. But verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. Alright, we can go ahead and explore the markets if we wish. I guess we can go ahead and take a look at the basic stalls that you'll find everywhere. Over here we have Engarand, a tradecraft supplier. He will supply various objects that are useful for crafting and gathering, which we'll be getting into in due time. A myriad of items can be bought and sold from vendors all across Eorzea. Purchasing an item is as simple as selecting an item from a shopkeep's inventory, while selling an item is as simple as selecting an item from your inventory or armory chest and choosing sell from the sub-command menu. If you happen to have second thoughts about a sale, you can always buy back your item from the vendor, but only if you have yet to leave the area or log out of the game. I believe the buyback only works for the last 10 items you sold as well, so be careful about that if you're selling a bunch of stuff. Over here we have an apothecary. They will sell things like potions, high potions, ethers, various potions that you can take to either heal yourself, restore MP, or give temporary buffs to your stats. Over here we have a culinarian. Culinarians are very good. We're going to be getting a lot of food just playing through the game and completing quests, but if you are short on food, it is always a good idea to have some food in stock. Whenever you eat some food, you get for 30 minutes a 3% bonus to all experience earned, as well as a small boost to various stats depending on what you eat. It is very, very useful to basically always have a food bonus on at all times if you are doing any sort of combat, crafting, or gathering, anything that gains experience that's not through completing quests. I don't believe quest completion experience gets the bonus. But basically everything else will get the experience bonus from food. You can also eat 2 stacks of the same type of food to extend that bonus out to 60 minutes. Over here we have a battlecraft supplier. They sell gear, so that would be armor. Yes, armor for, let's see, Disciples of War, so any physical-based combat class. Disciples of Magic, so any magic-based combat class. And gear and armor for Disciples of Hand and Land, which are crafters and gatherers respectively. Over here we have a retainer vocate. We'll be getting into retainers much later. And over here we have a jeweler who sells jewelry. There are 2 types of armor you'll have throughout the game: your main gear and your jewelry. Jewelry is typically used to jewelry is primarily used to boost your various stats like your strength, vitality, all of your little substats that provide bonuses to your damage, your healing potency, how fast you regenerate health, or how fast you regenerate MP, things like that. All those little extra stats, critical hit rate. Whereas your main armor will actually be what's primarily used to boost your defense. Armor will also boost a little bit of your stats, but your primary stat boosts are going to be from your jewelry. This is for defense, this is for stats. And then of course we also have our weapons, but we haven't found a shop for our weapons yet. So let's keep taking a look as we make our way towards the Arcanist Guild. Over here we have an Ethernet shard. There are many of them in every major city. Attune with them, because these are quick travel within a city. Once we've attuned with the Ethernet, you now have access to the Ethernet. Quick travel throughout the city can be achieved by simply placing your hand upon Ethernet shards. Attuning with the shard has granted you access to the city's Ethernet. Ethernet can be used for quick intra-city travel. So yes, each Ethernet shard we attune to gives us another fast travel spot within the city. We can go from the Aetheryte to any Ethernet shard, any Ethernet shard to the Aetheryte, or any Ethernet shard to another Ethernet shard. And once we've attuned with all of them, we'll also get quick travel leading out of the city. Very good to attune with all of them as you come across them. Alright, we have the second half of the markets over here. What do we got? Battlecraft Supplier. I believe you're going to be, yes. You're going to sell weapons for Disciples of War and Disciples of Magic, so our combat classes. Need new weapons? Come here. Over here we have a Fieldcraft Supplier who I believe is going to be selling, yes, tools for crafters and gatherers, as well as miscellaneous items that they can use. In particular, this guy sells a whole bunch of fishing bait for fishers. We'll be getting into that in due time. Over here we have collectible appraisers and script exchange. I actually have never done the content which unlocks this, so I can't explain it very well, but I do know it's related to crafters and gatherers. High-level crafter and gatherer content, I believe, will give you script, and script you can exchange for good rewards. We'll get into that in due time. Over here is a dye monger. Eventually we'll be able to dye our clothing and gear, and you can buy many, not all, but many dyes here at the dye monger. And over here we have a mender. As we go through the game, and especially once we hit level 10, our gear will begin taking damage over time, especially if we die in combat. The more we use our gear, the more damage it takes. Come to the mender to get it repaired, so that it will maintain its stats and not just break on you in the middle of combat. We also have market boards where you can trade with other players, but we're not going to be doing that quite yet. We have not much to trade. Okay. Heading down this way, we've got another Ethernet shard. Giving us quick access to the Arcanist Guild. Hello there, Murray. I was told to come say hi. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries, intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. Ah, but if I'm not mistaken, you already possess some rudimentary understanding of the craft. Shall I deepen your knowledge of our history as well? The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the peoples of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave ether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as Arcanists, and the School of Arcanima was born. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa Lominsa, Arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite, and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. The knowledge of an Arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merlevib, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanist Guild was established, and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you would continue your study of this challenging discipline, then I must insist that you indicate your commitment to joining our guild. Alright, we will be dealing with joining the Arcanist Guild formally, not now, but in the next episode. For now, we need to return to Baderon now that we've finished our primary tour, and go let him know. Alright, let's go ahead and take the stairs up this time. Who needs an elevator? And Baderon, I return. Ah, there you are, Satora. Enjoy your jaunt around the city, did you? If you mean to base yourself in Limsa Lominsa, that won't be the last time you visit them 3 places. And now you've got some idea of what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You've shown a good ear for listening last. Stick with old Baderon and you'll go far. Alright, thank you so much for the tour, Baderon. Even if you didn't come with me, you gave me some good places to stop off at. And with that, the next quest in the main scenario requires us to be a little bit higher level. We need to be just a bit stronger before we can do it. And we do have the matter of officially joining the Arcanist Guild to deal with. So next time on Final Fantasy XIV, back to the Arcanist Guild to officially join. And we'll learn a little bit more about Satora's backstory as well. I will see everyone next time for that.